I, 28M, have been married to my wife, Selena, 27F, for 5 years. We met during our sophomore year of college at a mutual friend's party. I was immediately drawn to Selena's vibrant personality and infectious laugh. She was studying elementary education, while I was pursuing a degree in computer science. Our relationship blossomed quickly. Selena brought out a side of me I didn't know existed. I'd always been introverted and focused on my studies, but she encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone. We went on spontaneous road trips, tried new cuisines, and even signed up for salsa dancing classes together, which was a hilarious disaster, but we had fun. After graduation, I landed a job as a software engineer at a growing tech startup. Selena began teaching 3rd grade at a local elementary school. We got married in a small ceremony surrounded by close friends and family. My best friend Max, 29 was my best man, and my younger brother Adam, 25 was a groomsman. The first few years of our marriage were wonderful. We bought a cozy starter home and adopted a lovable mutt named Banjo from the shelter. Selena and I often talked about our future plans. We both wanted kids eventually, but agreed to wait a few years to establish our careers first. Things started to change about a year ago. Max, who I'd known since middle school, began making odd comments about Selena. At first, they seemed harmless enough. He'd say things like, "Man, you really outkicked your coverage with Selena. How'd a nerd like you land such a hottie?" I'd laugh it off, but the remarks became more frequent and started to make me uncomfortable. Adam, who had always looked up to Max, started chiming in with similar comments. He'd say stuff like, "Better keep an eye on your girl, bro. I see how other guys look at her when we're out." I tried to brush it off as immature teasing, but seeds of doubt were planted. I started noticing little things about Selena that I'd never paid attention to before. She'd laugh at texts on her phone but quickly put it away when I entered the room. She began staying late at school for staff meetings more often. She even started dressing up more for work, wearing makeup and nice outfits when she used to just throw on jeans and a t-shirt. My mind went to dark places. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. One night, after a few beers with Max and Adam, I decided to confront Selena. It didn't go well. I accused her of being unfaithful and demanded to see her phone. Selena was shocked and hurt. She insisted she'd never cheated and couldn't believe I would think that of her. We had a massive fight. I said terrible things I still regret, like accusing her of only marrying me for financial stability. Selena was in tears, saying she couldn't believe the man she married would treat her this way. She slept in the guest room that night. Our relationship became incredibly strained after that. I constantly questioned Selena's whereabouts and scrolled through her phone when she wasn't looking. She grew distant and stopped confiding in me about her day. We barely talked beyond necessary household discussions. Things came to a head last week. Selena got a text during dinner that made her smile. When I demanded to see her phone, she refused, saying she was tired of my paranoia and mistrust. We got into a screaming match that ended with Selena grabbing an overnight bag and storming out of the house. She didn't come home that night. The next day, Selena came by to collect more belongings. She told me she was staying with her sister indefinitely and needed time to think about our marriage. I begged her to stay and work things out, but she said she couldn't be with someone who didn't trust her. Watching her drive away felt like my heart was being ripped out. Devastated, I reached out to Max and Adam for support. Their reactions stunned me. They high-fived each other and Max said, "Nice, now Selena's single. Time to shoot my shot." Adam chimed in with, "Not if I get there first, bro." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. These guys I considered my closest confidants had been actively trying to sabotage my marriage. I confronted them about all the comments they'd made over the past year. They admitted they'd been planting doubts, hoping I'd mess things up with Selena. Apparently, they'd had a dibs system in place for who would pursue Selena if we ever broke up. Max claimed he'd always had a crush on her, but stepped aside when we started dating in college. Adam said he'd developed feelings for her after we got married, but never acted on them out of respect for me. They thought it was hilarious that their plan had actually worked. I was furious and disgusted. I cut ties with both of them immediately, blocking their numbers and social media accounts. But the damage was already done. My marriage was in shambles, and I had no idea how to fix it. Now I'm left picking up the pieces of my shattered life. Selena won't return my calls or texts. I've sent her long emails explaining everything about Max and Adam's manipulation, but I haven't heard back. I realize how badly I messed up by letting those jerks get in my head instead of trusting my wife. But I'm afraid it's too late. I keep replaying moments from the past year in my mind, Seeing all the red flags I missed, the constant negging about how Selena was too good for me, the not-so-subtle hints that she must be cheating. They played on my insecurities perfectly, knowing I'd always felt a bit intimidated by Selena's outgoing nature and good looks. I'm racked with guilt over how I treated Selena. She didn't deserve any of my accusations or mistrust. She was always a loving, loyal partner, and I repaid her by believing the worst. I think about all the times she tried to reassure me, telling me how much she loved me and how happy she was in our marriage. But I was too caught up in my paranoia to hear her. The loneliness is crushing. I've lost my wife, my best friend, and my brother all at once. My parents are furious at me for how I treated Selena and for cutting off Adam. They don't understand the full story, and I'm not sure I want to tell them. It feels like my whole support system has crumbled. Work is the only thing keeping me going right now. I throw myself into coding for hours, trying to forget about the mess I've made of my personal life. My boss has noticed something's off, but I can't bring myself to explain the situation. I've thought about reaching out to some of our other friends, but I'm ashamed and embarrassed. Plus, I don't know who I can trust anymore. If my own brother and best friend could betray me like this, who's to say others haven't been harboring similar thoughts? Banjo seems to sense something's wrong. He spends a lot of time lying by the front door, waiting for Selena to come home. It breaks my heart, knowing she might never walk through that door again. I'm not sure what to do next. Part of me wants to camp outside Selena's sister's house until she agrees to talk to me. But I know that would probably just push her further away. I've thought about sending flowers or gifts to her school, but that feels manipulative. For now, I'm trying to give Selena the space she asked for. I'm hoping that once some time has passed, she'll be willing to hear me out. I know I don't deserve her forgiveness, but I'm praying for a chance to make things right. If anyone has been in a similar situation, or has thoughts on whether there's any hope for reconciliation, I'd appreciate hearing them. I'm lost, and could use any advice on how to move forward. Thanks for reading this long, depressing saga. Update 1. It's been a roller coaster couple of weeks since my last post. I wanted to give an update on the situation with Selena and the fallout from Max and Adam's betrayal. First, some positive news. Selena finally agreed to meet with me in person. We met at a neutral coffee shop and talked for hours. I explained everything about Max and Adam's manipulation and how badly I'd messed up by believing them. Selena was understandably hurt and angry. She said my accusations and mistrust had been devastating, especially since she'd always been faithful. She told me about how confused and hurt she'd been, wondering what she'd done to make me suddenly doubt her after years of happiness. Selena revealed that the reason she'd been staying late at school so often was because she was taking additional certification classes to become a reading specialist. She'd wanted to surprise me with the news once she completed the program. The text messages I'd been suspicious of were from her study group. As for the change in her appearance, Selena admitted she'd been feeling insecure about turning 30 soon and wanted to freshen up her look. She'd hoped I would notice and compliment her, but instead, I'd turned it into something negative. I felt terrible hearing all of this. I apologized profusely for jumping to conclusions and letting Max and Adam's words poison my mind. Selena said she appreciated my honesty about what had happened, but that it would take time to rebuild the trust I'd broken. To my immense relief, Selena said she still loves me and is willing to try couples counseling to see if we can work things out. We've scheduled our first session for next week. Selena is still staying with her sister for now, but we're talking and texting daily. It's going to be a long road to rebuild trust, but I'm committed to doing whatever it takes. Now for the not-so-good news. Word got out about what Max and Adam had done, and it's caused major drama in our friend group and family. Max's girlfriend, Emma, who was also friends with Selena, broke up with him when she found out about his part in the scheme. She was disgusted that he'd try to break up a marriage just to hook up with Selena. Max tried to play it off as a harmless joke, but Emma wasn't having it. She's been incredibly supportive of Selena through all of this. As for Adam, my parents are furious with him. They always loved Selena and were heartbroken when we separated. When I finally broke down and told them what Adam had done, they hit the roof. They've basically disowned him for now, which is causing a huge rift in the family. Adam's wife, Lily, was blindsided by the whole thing. Apparently, Adam had never mentioned his crush on Selena or any plans to pursue her if we split up. Lily moved out and is staying with her parents while she figures out what to do. I feel terrible for her, as she's collateral damage in this whole mess. I'm getting a lot of mixed reactions from our wider social circle. Some people are supportive and angry on my behalf at Max and Adam's betrayal. Others think I'm overreacting and should forgive them. A few even suggested Selena and I were partially to blame for tempting them somehow. The whole situation has been incredibly stressful. I'm glad Selena and I are working on things, but I hate that this has caused so much collateral damage to other relationships. Part of me feels guilty for tattling on Max and Adam, even though I know they brought this on themselves. I've been throwing myself into work to try to keep my mind off things when I'm not with Selena. My boss finally asked what was going on, and I gave him a brief explanation. He's been understanding about my personal issues and is letting me work from home more often. I'm also trying to branch out and make some new friends. I joined a local running club and have been going to weekly meetups. It feels weird to be socializing without Max there, but I know I need to expand my social circle beyond those toxic influences. Selena and I are taking things day by day. We still have a lot of issues to work through in counseling, but I'm cautiously optimistic that we can come out stronger on the other side of this ordeal. One unexpected bright spot in all of this has been reconnecting with my college roommate, Mike. We drifted apart after graduation, but he reached out after hearing about the situation through mutual friends. He and his wife have been incredibly supportive, inviting Selena and me over for dinner and offering a listening ear. I'll post another update after we've had a few counseling sessions. Thanks again to everyone who offered support and advice on my original post. It really helped me get through some dark days. Update 2. Hey everyone, I wanted to give another update on the situation with Selena and the fallout from Max and Adam's betrayal. Selena and I have been going to couples counseling for a few weeks now. It's been intense and emotional, but I feel like we're making progress. We're learning better communication skills and working on rebuilding trust. Our therapist has us doing exercises like feelings check-ins and writing letters to each other, expressing our hopes and fears for our relationship. One particularly powerful session involved discussing our individual family backgrounds and how they've shaped our attitudes towards relationships. I opened up about my parents' rocky marriage and how it made me fear abandonment. Selena shared about the pressure she felt growing up with perfectionist parents and how that translated into her people-pleasing tendencies in our marriage. These insights have helped us understand each other better and identify patterns we want to change. It's not easy work, but it feels worthwhile. In a huge step forward, Selena moved back home last week. We're sleeping in separate bedrooms for now as we continue to work on our relationship. But it's so nice just to have her presence in the house again. We've been cooking dinner together and taking Banjo for walks, slowly rebuilding our connection. As for Max and Adam, things have only gotten messier. Max showed up at our house drunk one night, begging for forgiveness. He said Emma dumping him made him realize what an idiot he'd been. I told him to leave and called him an Uber. Selena was shaken by the encounter, and we had to process it in our next therapy session. Adam has been blowing up my phone with texts and voicemails. He's furious that I ruined his marriage by telling Lily what he'd done. Apparently, she's filed for divorce. Adam is threatening to tell our parents secrets about me from our childhood if I don't help him win Lily back. I've blocked his number and am considering getting a restraining order if the harassment continues. My parents are still not speaking to Adam. They keep asking me for updates and details about what happened, which is awkward. I'm trying to stay out of it as much as possible and focus on my own healing and relationship with Selena. The drama has spread to our extended family too. At a recent family gathering for my cousin's baby shower, tensions were high. Some relatives took sides, and it turned into a huge argument. Selena and I ended up leaving early because it was so uncomfortable. On a more positive note, I've been spending more time with Mike and his wife. They've been really supportive throughout this whole ordeal. We've gone on a couple of double dates with Selena, which has been nice. It feels good to be building new, healthier friendships. Selena and I still have a long way to go, but I'm feeling hopeful. We're rediscovering why we fell in love in the first place. Last night, we stayed up late just talking and laughing like we used to. It felt like old times. I know trust won't be fully rebuilt overnight, but I'm committed to proving to Selena every day that she can count on me. I'm so grateful for this second chance. Thanks again to everyone who's followed along with this saga. I'll post another update down the road if there are any major developments. Update 3. Hey all, I wanted to give one last update on my situation. A lot has happened in the past couple of months. The good news is that Selena and I are doing much better. We've continued with couples counseling, and it's really helped us work through our issues. We're back to sharing a bedroom, and things feel almost back to normal. We're even starting to talk about trying for a baby next year. Our communication has improved dramatically. We've implemented weekly State of the Union talks, where we discuss any concerns or issues openly. It's helped prevent small problems from festering into bigger ones. Selena completed her reading specialist certification and got a promotion at her school. I couldn't be prouder of her. We celebrated with a weekend getaway to a cute bed and breakfast in the mountains. As for Max and Adam, I haven't had any direct contact with either of them. Max apparently moved to another state for a new job. I heard through the grapevine that he's in AA now, which I hope is true for his sake. Adam is still trying to win back Lily, but last I heard the divorce was moving forward. He's been leaving rambling voicemails for our parents, which has been stressful for them. They've started seeing a family therapist to process everything that's happened. My parents have started speaking to Adam again, which has been a source of tension. They keep pushing me to reconcile with him, but I'm not ready for that. Selena and I have decided to keep our distance from my family for now, which is painful, but feels necessary for our healing. We've been spending a lot of time with Mike and his wife. It's been great to have drama-free socializing for a change. We're planning a couple's trip together this summer, a week-long beach vacation that we're all looking forward to. Work has been going well. I got a promotion to lead developer on a new project. The extra responsibilities have been challenging but rewarding. Selena has been incredibly supportive as I've had to put in some long hours. Overall, life is starting to feel normal again. Selena and I are stronger than ever. While I still regret ever doubting her, I'm grateful that we were able to work through it and come out the other side. We're talking about renewing our vows on our next anniversary as a symbol of our recommitment to each other. Banjo seems happier now that we're both home consistently. He's back to his old playful self, always trying to squeeze between us on the couch during movie nights. We've started volunteering at a local animal shelter together on weekends. It's been a great way to bond and give back to the community. Selena's even talking about us fostering dogs in the future. I still have moments of guilt and shame when I think about how close I came to throwing away our marriage. But Selena has been incredibly patient and understanding. She reminds me that we're human and bound to make mistakes. The important thing is that we learn and grow from them. We've made a pact to always be honest with each other, even when it's uncomfortable. No more letting outside influences come between us. We're a team, and we've learned the hard way how important it is to have each other's backs. This will probably be my last update unless something major changes. Thank you to everyone who's followed along and offered support throughout this whole ordeal. Your kind words and advice really helped me during some dark times. If there's one thing I've learned from all this, it's to never take your relationship for granted. Cherish the good times, work through the bad times, and always choose trust and communication over suspicion and silence.